All right, first up, our own Mike Mitchell has some news on former XFL players who made the 2021 CFL rosters. Let's see. So a lot of American players decided to, at least XFL players, decided to make their way up north to play in the CFL, even with kind of questions of what's going on. He says there were 57 former XFL players in the Canadian League, plus a massive purge by all 9 teams from nearly 100 total players per franchise has left very few still standing in recent days. On the bright side, there's some taxi squad, practice squad rosters, that kind of thing. So, XFL players on CFL regular season rosters, there's 57 of them. James Butler from the Houston Rednecks, Kent Perkins, Battlehawks, Obum Guanchum from the Vipers. They're on the BC Lions practice squad. Has got Nadir Rouse. Calgary Stampeders, Gerald Owens from the Guardians, Jameer Thurman from the DC Defenders, and on the practice squad, you got Marcel Branch, Jordan Morgan, Dan Williams, taxi squad, and Nick Hawley from the Roughnecks. One guy that fans were interested in seeing how he played out. He is on the practice squad of the Calgary Stampeders. Now, another thing to keep in mind with all of this stuff is that it could be what as a problem, plus injuries. So these guys, just don't count them out just yet as like, oh, I guess they're not going to play at all. It's a long 14-week season. Remember, that season is longer than the XFL's season. And with basically no hitting going on in camp, there's going to be injuries. And with what still out there, who knows what that's going to entail too. So those things, so don't count these guys out yet. Maybe this will help you figure out who you're going to root for. Edmonton Elks got Niles Morgan, Taylor Cornelius, Armonte Edwards, Renegades, and DeAndre Wesley. They're on the active roster, so Taylor Cornelius, not sure where he's on the depth chart. Jalen Tolliver from the Vipers, and Andrew Accra from St. Louis Battlehawks on the practice squad. Saskatchewan's got AJ Hendy from the Guardians. Practice squad, DeMarcus Gates. What? And suspended list Sammy Coates, both from the Roughnecks. DeMarcus Gates, man, he was my favorite defensive player in the XFL. He's on the practice squad. Now, one thing you're just kind of like, what? But then it shows you the level of talent that's in the CFL, too, just to kind of give you an idea. Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they got Dietrich Nichols from the Roughnecks, Casey Sales from Battlehawks, Ricky Walker, Virginia Tech, I believe, Tampa Bay Vipers, Carlton Aguaso from the Battlehawks, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, your Hamilton Tiger Cats. Got Des Lawrence from the DC Defenders and Channing Stribbing from the Seattle Dragons. Good players there. Stephen Dunbar, John Yarborough, and Anthony Kelly are on the practice squad. We'll get into where Cam Phillips is, if you're wondering. Montreal Alouettes, Cameron Artis-Payne from the Renegades, Wesley Sutton, New York Guardians, Trey Watson, Dallas Renegades. They got 5 on the practice squad. Rashard Ross was a good player with the Defenders. Nick Callender of the Roughnecks. And on the suspended list is Jermaine Ponder and Prince Charles Awa. He was on Team 9. Ottawa Redblacks, Jordan Smallwood of the Wildcats, Juan Bushell Beatty on the Roughnecks, and Natil Rogers from the Vipers are on the active roster. Quarterback Tyron Crinston of the Wildcats and Davon Grayson of the Battlehawks are on the practice squad. On the Toronto Argonauts, so Cam Phillips got cut from my Hamilton Tiger Cats and now is on the Toronto Argonauts. He got picked up and he's on the active roster. So the Argos have got a ton of XFL. If you have no team to root for and you're a spring football fan, and we know there's tons of you out there. If you and you're an XFL fan and you're like, I don't know what team to root for, your Toronto Argonauts, not only because of that potential rumor, whatever, we'll see if that ever transpires, but there's a 10 XFL players on the Toronto Argonauts. You got Cam Phillips. Man, I wanted him on the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Daniel Braverman, Adrian Allen, Terry Poole, Keon Ely from the Houston Roughnecks. Sean Oakman, you know that name from the Wildcats. Dwayne Hendricks was a good player, the Battlehawks. Derek McCoyle, Battlehawks, and Tristan DeCoud of the Renegades. And then Richard Cleet from the Renegades is on the practice squad. So in total, 47 total players who played in the XFL in 2020 are currently on CFL active and practice team rosters. 29 players are on the active regular season rosters and 18 on practice rosters. So the breakdown is Houston Roughnecks with 9, Battlehawks with 9, Vipers with 9, Renegades with 6, Defenders with 5, Guardians 4, Wildcats 3, Seattle Dragons just 2. The Argonauts lead the pack, of course, with 10 XFL players. Edmonton Elks have 2 former Tampa Bay Viper players, Taylor Cornelius and Jalen Tolliver, not surprising considering the team's coached by Vipers coordinator Jamie Elizondo. So there you have it. There are all your XFL players on rosters in the CFL. Speaking of that, we all know now that former Roughnecks Cam Phillips, he signed with the Argonauts, so he was cut and really quickly picked up by the Argonauts. So, and he's on the active roster, not on the practice squad. He's on there. So we'll see maybe if he gets some playing time. I just can't see how Cam Phillips would not do well in the CFL. I don't understand. But if you need a team to follow, there you got it. Cam Phillips and the Toronto Argonauts. That's the team to follow in the CFL.